Hello and welcome. Let me put that light on, Sammy, for me, please. How yous all, one and all. God bless yous all, and welcome to today's edition of the Temple Report. I hope yous are all keeping well. Yes. Okay, that looks a lot better now, doesn't it? Who's in the room? Anthony H, how you doing? Ewan Ekstrom, nice to see you. Troy Florida, Westover, how are you? Nice to see you. We're all cracking on here. Yeah, an interesting show today. Strange show, but anyway, let's have a word from the scriptures. First of all, the scripture of the day. Keep Satan away. Psalm 120, hear ye the Lord. In my distress I cried unto the Lord, and he heard me. Deliver my soul, O Lord, from lying lips and from a deceitful tongue. What shall be given unto thee? Or what shall be done unto thee, thou false tongue? Sharp arrows of the mighty with coals of juniper. Woe is me that I sojourn in Mesech, and I dwell in the tent of Kedar. My soul hath long dwelt with him that hateth peace. I am for peace, but when I speak, they are for war. Amen. And we know the Lord will add his blessing to this, the public reading of his infallible, inspired, and inerrant word. And the people of God said, amen and amen indeed. What a fine Bible that is. So there we are. Get this. Who we got here? I still haven't managed to figure out how to make these comments bigger, which is very disturbing because I can't see. Let's see. Troy, how you doing? Westover 1314. God bless you, brother. Lady Matriarch. Mitch Cameron and Sherry, how you doing? You too. Nice to see you. We miss you, you know. And I've still got that fine statue, Mitch, that belonged to your father. It's in there. It's absolutely stunning. I was looking at it on Sunday. We had visitors here and they were amazed by it. So thank you for that. Kit Bear, nice to see you again, my friend. How you doing? Paul Telford's here as well. Ewan and Brian Hope. How you doing, Brian Hope? Brian, did you ever get sorted out with the Discord? Yeah. I know you shared the room with people and they go, I don't know who you are. I know it's crazy, but our man's on the ball. Nobody sneaks past our fella. You might have been an imposter. They might have been impersonating you, Brian. You don't know. Control, what's that there? Kit Bear, control and plus to make text bigger. Really? Control and plus. Where's the plus? Where's the plus, son? Do you know what the plus is? Is it up here, this one? This?
Yeah.
No? Oh, man. What's happened here? What have I done now? My screen's went wee now. What you tell me then?
I don't see a plus there.
There it is.
Ah.
Oh, what's happened here?
Press it once and let go. Control plus and then let go, don't hold it.
Well, that's not done anything.
Oh, let's see.
Oh, man, that's messed me right up now. Thanks very much for that, Kit Bear. It's destroyed my whole screen. Oh, man. How do you get rid of that? Oh, no, I need to get rid of that. Oh, man.
Control minus might be the opposite reverse.
That's what I'm thinking. So the place now, I don't know what's happened to it. It's not changed anything at all there. It just made my other screen go completely doolally. Dear me. That's that. I'm not touching it. Just wait. That's much worse. Ken, what are you doing? Jason, I can't read that Jason song. How you doing? Good to see you. Yes, Brian, thank you. But Discord's all sorted. Pleased to hear it. Westover, how you doing? Lady Matriarch, how you doing, sister? No, it doesn't work. Yeah, user error. Aye, Sam is right. Aye, no, it doesn't work. But it's just changing one. I've got two screens here, and it's just changing that one. It's not changing the one with the thingies on it. So it's not doing it. So forget about that. No. Aye, don't worry about it. It's not working. That isn't working. That just isn't working. That's not working for me at all. It made everything go weird. So thank you for help. Thank you for trying, but it's not working. So there we go. Right, what have we got today? Some crazy stuff. There's been a crazy thing happening this week in this country. The newspapers went absolutely mad with a story. This guy came out with a story. I don't know if I showed you him. Where is he? Is this idiot here? So this guy came out with a story that the new IRA were going to start really gearing up to kick the immigrants out. And I thought, this guy's a balloon. I just looked at him. I thought, this guy's a clown. He's a drunkard or something. I don't know what he is, a grafter, a con man. He's supposed to be a retired military intelligence. I'll show you him and see what you think. Every newspaper in the country ran with the story. GB News ran with the story. I thought, why are they doing this? I don't know why they've done it. It's open to interpretation. But it's quite obviously a load of nonsense. He said one day the IRA were going to start kicking out the immigrants, and then the next day the UVF and the UD, that's the Protestant Parliament, they were going to join up and do the same. We're well connected to all of these people. I'm not saying we're involved with them, but we know. We know these people, we know them. And not a word of truth in it. Maybe the Protestant paramilitaries might do it in the future because they're all right-wing anyway. But the IRA are complete Marxists, and they're on record supporting immigration and Hamas and Hezbollah and blah, 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 blah. So why is every newspaper and television channel ran with this? I don't know. Have a look at this guy and see what you think yourself. I'll show you this guy. Here's the first one he done.
What was going to happen, wasn't it? I'm going to tell you about the real IRA in 1 second. They used to fight against the Irish Rangers, British regiment. And the Irish Rangers will tell you, and they were exceptional fighting force, by the way, they'll tell you that the IRA were not just formidable, they're almost unbeatable. Now, they were organised, they had their military precision, they had their covert intelligence, and they dealt with things swiftly. Now, I know this might not come as a shock, but in the next couple of weeks, I think you'll find out that the real IRA will make some announcements. They will not allow any of the new fractions of the IRA that have come out. It's the old school. The old school will take control, and they will give an ultimatum, not to politicians, but to the illegal migrants who are in the country. Now that's going to cause a major issue in Ireland, because the politicians are entrenched financially in this, and of course, the amount of, let's say, beatings, rapes, sexual assaults, and the cooking of dogs has been exponential. I was with a man from Galway this weekend, and he was telling me that he, his family, are all terrified of what's happening, even in their small city. And I asked him reasons why he was terrified. He said, well, look, there's nowhere we can go where they're not standing in a street corner. Drugs are everywhere. Beatings and sexual assaults. So much so that a 12-year-old girl was taken very recently in Galway and dealt with by them. He has a daughter, and he also has a goddaughter. It's a very much a Catholic community, and christenings are happening all the time. And even at a christening, they were hanging around outside the church waiting for their prey. Now that's Galway for you, but I know Dublin's even worse, and I'm sure it's the rest of the country. I get so many messages from people in Ireland, because we have a lot of affiliation with Scotland and Ireland, of course, and we feel the same pain that they're going through, but they're in a more advanced stage. They really are screwed. And it's now going to be time for civil war. And that is exactly what these guys are going to be doing. And can you blame them? The same as the military have said here, if from military, they will say civil war's coming here. This will be a major wake-up call for the authorities. And I can't say whether I agree with it or not, but illegal migration is wrong, and our women and children need protected. These guys will show them how it's done. They will give them 24 hours to leave, on my understanding. So let's see what happens in the next few weeks, and then it will all go. Unfortunately, for us, I can't say any more, I might get arrested. Just watch this space.
So here we are. This is a guy. He's got a massive Facebook. Now, how's he in Facebook? We get banned. This guy's on Facebook. This guy's name is, when I'll tell you his name. His name is, he blogs under the name of Andrew JAOC, just another ordinary citizen. But his real name is Andrew Sibley from Edinburgh. And he's notorious for saying, I've got inside information. He tells people he's retired intelligence officer. That guy couldn't get a job as a dog warden, never mind an intelligence. Well, he might nowadays. But I think he's on the bevy. I think he's on the drink. He's talking utter rubbish, and every newspaper's ran with it. Why? Why? Is this so the government can clamp down, or what is it? I don't know. Because the new IRA, they're all the same. Look, here's the thing they done recently. Sinn Féin voted against a bill aimed at enabling migrant deportations from Europe, right? Okay, that's guaranteed. We've got pictures of, where is that picture? Oh, I have the picture here. Wait, I get another picture for you. Hold on. I get another picture for you. Just in case you think I'm making it up. It's unbelievable. Where is that other picture? Where's that other picture? Where is it? Oh, where's Jerry? Where's my friend Jerry? That's strange. Wait a minute then. Did that desktop? No, downloads. I did have a picture there a minute ago. Don't know where it's went. That's typical. Oh, of course. Right, never mind that. There's a famous picture of Sinn Féin standing. Jerry Adams and Mark McGuinness, the leaders of the IRA, standing with placards, refugees welcome. This is nonsense. I mean, this is crazy stuff. It's incredible that even people believe this. And remember when a member of the Muslim Brotherhood got harassed in Belfast, Mark McGuinness, the leader of the IRA, came out and said this.
And we are really glad to have Mr. McGuinness' support from day one. When the story broke out, he was supporting the Muslim community and condemned the comments made by the pastor. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank him for this support, and I would like to present him a token, a copy of the Quran to Mr. McGuinness. Thank you very much for your support.
Thank you very
really,
much.
really appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I mean, utter nonsense, claptrap. And the fact that like the Daily Mail, GB News and other newspapers ran with this is completely bizarre. I mean, it's completely, it's so unbelievable. It's like saying in America, Antifa have come out and said they're going to get rid of all the blacks from the neighborhoods. It's bonkers. So what's people saying here? I wish I could read this. Mitch Cameron says it's a joke. Propaganda. Ewan Exxon doesn't mean anything. Plenty of similar ex-military. Consistent theory. YouTube. Swedish military officers keep saying that Russia will collapse any day now. I know. I see that. Mitch Cameron says, "Yep, Kit Bear, you're right, Jim. It's so they have an excuse to clamp down on the population." I think so. Mitch Cameron says the old school IRA are coming to take business. Better take my next brace up. I mean, one guy said to me today, Jim, he's meaning the old school IRA because they weren't communists. Well, the IRA have been communists since they formed in 1970 or 1971. If you mean in the real old IRA, Michael Collins, who certainly was not a Marxist, the old IRA from 1916, Michael Collins, the big man, the GPO, the revolution against the British oppression. Yes, they were Roman, decent Catholic people, patriots. But the last of them probably died about, 50 years ago? Because they guys, if they fought in 1916, just say they were 16 years of age in 1916. So they'd be 126 now. I don't think there's many Irishmen. And I know Irishmen are tough, and I know Irishmen are fierce and they can fight. But I don't think there's many 126-year-old Irishmen in this country, let alone 126-year-old Irishmen who can lift up guns and chase out immigrants. I don't think so. I could be wrong. Call me an old cynic. But this is, and it's everywhere on Twitter. And I mean everywhere. Twitter, Facebook, I'm sure you've seen it. It is complete poppycock. Unbelievable. It's madness. I know. Sinn Féin, Brits out, Asians and Africans in. Of course, pardoning my tardiness. No problem at all, Brian. But it's madness. And then, to compound matters, the next day, he makes another one. Wait, do you see this? This is even worse.
So it's all happening. It's Monday morning around 10:40 in the morning. Now I want to talk about the UDA, and apologies to UVF guys, I haven't got both on the screen, I can put one up. Apologies, no disrespect intended. I did a video about an hour ago with regard to the IRA, what they're going to do and what their plans are in the coming couple of weeks with their announcements. Now, if you can imagine the scenario, UDA, UVF fighting IRA, that's finished. It's not going to happen. The old IRA are going to come back. So please go watch that other video. It's very important. Now what will happen to these guys here and ladies? Well, they will not want to fight the IRA because, of course, that's not their battle now. Their battle is protection of their own communities. Now imagine a world where an agreement's been done already to lay down arms. So when they get arms back again Do you really think they're going to fight? They'll have an agreement, and we'll call it a gentleman's agreement, because they will be interested in protecting their own communities and communication of intelligence. They will help each other. Thing with the UDA and UVF, just like the IRA, formidable. I know, again, pilots and signals that worked over there, they'll tell you how difficult it was. It's very difficult for any force to try and control them. And certainly, we won't try now. So what do you think will happen? Well, they'll get an ultimatum to leave their properties, just like Southern Ireland. What will then happen? Well, they'll of course go one of two ways. Jump on a boat over back to France, unlikely. They'll come here, to Liverpool. That's when we'll see the issues starting to rise, with a huge amount leaving Ireland. That's what will happen. We allowed it to happen before, when they flew into Liverpool, Stansted, after the last attacks in Northern Ireland. This will be massive. There is a huge amount of migrants over there, more than 150,000. Where do you think they're going to go? They're going to go here. So, next 2 weeks is going to be vital. Be prepared. And just for the government officials, any police are watching me, I know nothing. Just, of course, guess what? I would like to see a lot more, but I can't. Don't want to be arrested. See on the other side.
Well, I personally think he's on a bevy. And if he's that drunk at the back of 10 in the morning, what can you say? I think he's drunk as a skunk. I think he's... Oh, no, give me this, baby. Oh, no, take that back. No, take that back. Take that back now. Look at this. Look who's up here. Look who's up here. The wee Winnie. Get down, dog. Look, Winnie. Look, there's the people. There's Winnie. Winnie the baby's in. Winnie the baby's in. There she is. And as they say in County Kerry, take that back now. Take that back. It's my wee darling. What do you think of that? My dog's getting very jealous, isn't he, girl? Come on, up you get. Up you get. Come on, up you get. Come on. Hey, up there, up there. Come on, up you get. The dog's getting jealous, so I better keep the dog happy as well. There we go. She's behind me. There we are. So, oh, she's away. There you go. So, I think he's drunk.
Massachusetts have signed abortion up to birthday.
Yeah, Massachusetts have signed abortion up until birth. Yeah, but I mean, they're not doing it anyway. I know, I've seen it. Tommy Robinson actually put a thing up about abortion. He's pro-abortion, so I don't know why he's bothered. He's such a lying toad, isn't he? But anyway, and he'll find putting that up, he'll lose a lot of support. Are any of these people in the Swedish military trustworthy? Not many, no. They dance with pride banners. What do you think? Well said, Ivan. Yeah, indeed. How you doing, Bosom? How you doing? Nice to see you. Nice to see you, brother. Well, it's true what Ewan says there. Every time I go into, there's certain channels, and there's a certain guy in America. I wish I had his name. He's some kind of colonel. He's high up in the Trump administration. And every time I go home from here about 8 o'clock at night, okay? About 8 o'clock at night. I get in the house about 8:30, and I put the YouTube on, and I see what's happening, and I put on Iran war. What's happening in the Iran war or Ukraine war? And there's this American guy. You're in. See you later. He's some kind of colonel or something like that. He's in the administration. Is it Kane you call him or something? I don't know. He's just kind of older man. And every time I see him, he's saying, Russia's on the brink of collapse. Ukraine are massacring the Russians. Ukraine's going to win this war. It's nearly all over. And Putin's in his last legs and blah, 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 blah. And I'm thinking, is this what everybody in America has been told all the time? Let me tell you something. Russia is wiping the floor with Ukraine now. It's almost embarrassing. They're wiping the floor. They're going to be wiped out soon. And the Ukrainians, not the Russians, the Ukrainians have lost over 1 million men. Over 1 million men. This is a tiny wee country. Let me just explain something to you. Before the war, when I went over to Ukraine, with brother Tagleshi, very worthy brother Tagleshi. 20 years ago, and the population of Ukraine was 44 million or 46 million. Ukraine's population now is around about 20 million people. Everybody's left. And those who have stayed, I mean, if there's 20 million people, half of them are men. That's 10 million men. Say half of them are fighting age, 5 million. It's about 1 in 4, 1 in 5 young men have been killed. And another 1 or 2 out of the 5 have been severely disabled. This is madness. This country is finished. Doesn't matter. If that war stops tomorrow, Ukraine will never, ever come back for this. That's like America losing, say, 200 million of its population and having 25, 30 million young men killed. That's the equivalent in American terms. Can you imagine if America went from 370 million down to 150 million and you lost 25 million young men? The country's done. It's finished. It's done. Putin set out to destroy Ukraine because the capital of Russia used to be Kiev. Okay, did you know that? The capital of Russia was Kiev. And there was a tribe of people called the Rus, which gave its name to Russia, who lived there. The Ukrainians lived in a wee tiny patch in part of Rus. Okay? So Putin started out to destroy Ukraine. He's done it. Ukraine's finished. It's destroyed. It's no more. It's gone. It's finished. And isn't it strange that most of the people who run this Knesset in Israel all come from Ukraine? Yep. They all come from Ukraine. Some of them Poland, but most of them Ukraine. And most people who live in Israel come from Europe, and most of them come from Ukraine. Isn't that strange? But there we are. It's finished. The Kievan Rus Grand Principality, of course. Don't know who that guy is in America, but every time I switch to telly on, he's saying Russia's finished, done. Ukraine war's going to finish. And he's also saying Iran is completely destroyed. Iran is destroyed. Don't know why the president just doesn't go up and wipe them out. It's done. It's finished. It's finished. Iran's finished. Iran is now far more powerful than it was before it started the war. They've now got the control of the Straits of Hormuz, which they never had before. And we're talking about now, we don't need it anymore. We're going to build a pipeline across the desert, right across Arabia. What do you think they can't hit that? Even if it's underground, do you think they can bomb that? Really? What about these refineries? The refineries up that end. So if you look at Saudi Arabian Peninsula, the Arabian Peninsula, all the refineries up that end, next to that sea bit, next to the Straits of Hormuz, that's where all the refineries are. Build a pipe all the way across. This is how simple-minded our people are. People say, "Oh, that'll sort the Iranians out. That'll sort them out. We don't need to use the Straits of Hormuz." All those pipelines that are going to go from the Red Sea up to the other sea, all of them go to refineries on that coast, looking across to Iran, the mountain range of Iran. They can just send a missile over and wipe out the refineries at any point they wish. And there's nobody can stop them. Not America, not Russia, nobody. They can do that at any time they want. So this is the type of lunacy that people are peddling. This is the lunacy that people are peddling. It doesn't bear any resemblance to reality. But I thought to myself, if that's what the war in Ukraine, if that's what Americans have been fed on that, no wonder they don't understand it when I say America's made a massive boob with this war with Iran. No wonder, because you're getting fed nonsense. You need to go on the Times of India or the Hindustani Times or some other weird channel to get any truth. I don't get the truth here in Britain either. We get parts of truth, but not much. We get told the same every week on GB News. Russia's almost defeated. They're almost on their knees. Putin's going to die. When did we get told a couple of years ago, Putin is only 6 months to live? He's still staggering about there. No staggering, he's marching about. Very fit-looking man for his age. But this is the nonsense we're constantly getting fed. And that brings me back to this story with this guy. Why are reputable news agencies running this? They're supposed to check their stories, check their source. They haven't, and they haven't mentioned that guy's name but once. If that was me saying that the IRA is going to attack them immigrants or the UVF New Day is going to start doing the same, they'd be saying, Jim Dawson said this. They wouldn't take it seriously. They just reported this balloon, this nutcase, and never used his name. So why are they doing it? It's very sinister. In my opinion, it's very sinister. I don't know. It's very serious stuff. Propaganda. I know, it's crazy. I've never seen propaganda like it in the West. It's quite incredible. It's quite absolutely incredible what's going on right now. And I don't know if you've seen, but a lot of boys on the aircraft carriers are really giving off and causing a lot of trouble now because they're living in terrible conditions, unsanitary conditions. Supplies are down. They're not getting treated well. There's a real big problem right now with the military attack on Iran. A massive, massive problem. But Benjamin Netanyahu doesn't care. He'll still be going into it hammer and tong. I dare say if he's allowed. But, things have changed from the days when we had proper military leaders. There was a man who would have stopped the troubles in Ireland in 3 months if he had been allowed to stay here. Because what happened in the old days, IRA would come across the border, it's an open border, shoot and murder our people and then just jump across the border. And although our soldiers could see them and the IRA could shoot at them, you couldn't shoot back because they were in the Republic of Ireland. They weren't allowed to shoot back. Mad Mitch went straight across the border, grabbed them and shot them. But here he is. This is a guy called Mad Mitch. He's a crazy Highlander, but educated in London. So he's good to ever so posh voice. But Scottish regiments always want English educated toffs to be our officers. I know Americans might think that's strange. We don't want somebody as mad as us. We do, but we want somebody who's highly educated, who's been educated in England from a 5-6-year-old boy, private school. Then they go to Eton, and then they go to Cambridge or Oxford. Then they go to Sandhurst, and they become officers. This is this guy. But he's still a mad Highlander. And if you don't, he may have a posh English accent, but this guy, they call him Mad Mitch for a reason. And this was him when he was in the Yemen. We used to run that. It was called Aden. And my uncle was stabbed you up the backside with one of them big curvy Arab knives. Honestly, my Uncle Harry didn't work a day in his life after that, but he managed to have 12 kids, so it didn't do him that much harm. Yeah, he got a big knife. Yeah, very nasty. But this was his commanding officer. Sammy's laughing. It's no laughing, man. That's your great uncle. The man couldn't have worked the rest of his life. He died at 76, but he never did his job because all his insides were all discombobulated. You seen any big knives we got in Arabia? Big curved things. But Mad Mitch says, no, this is not happening. And he went out and got about a dozen of these Arabs and strung them up on lampposts. So here he is. If only made officers like this again. This guy may be able to take a hand, I doubt it, but listen to this boy.
Some chap now starts throwing grenades or using pistols, we shall kill him. Quite rightly. If anyone starts any trouble, they'll just get the head blown off. They'll get the message in time,
Let's just watch this again. This is in the late 60s. This is why we call him mad. He's a mad Scotch Highlander, but he was educated in England. Ever so to be a gentleman. Let's listen to this guy again. I think he's great. Mad Mitch. The Argyll and Southern Highlanders Regiment. Oh, you don't mess with them boys.
Some chap now starts throwing grenades or using pistols, we shall kill him. Quite rightly. If anyone starts any trouble, they'll just get the head blown off. They'll get the message in time,
You don't get guys like that no more, do you? They don't turn them out to Sandhurst or what's that place you go to in America? Some point, West Point. Don't get that anymore. That's how it's done. Do you remember Mad Mitch? Remember him? They had to be an island. They had to get rid of him. He was too wild. He was too wild. And say that bring their guys out on a cap. Absolutely. Just come home, American boys. Bring them home. Let Israel go and fight with Iran what they want. We'll buy the popcorn and watch all the missiles flying. The trouble is we can't, can we? Because we're committed now. And if Iran wants to, it can take out the oil industry, and then America, Britain, Europe, we're all finished. So we're a real predicament now, a real nasty predicament. It's crazy. Properly educated, combined with Highland DNA, would be 100% unstoppable. He was, and that most of the regiments who do the fighting in the British Army are Celtic regiments, Scots, Welsh, and Irish. They're the frontline battle regiments. The English mainly do the logistics and the tank stuff, and all. They're very clever at that. The English, artillery and things. They do all that stuff, but it's the Celts that are up the front, hacking and chopping at people. So yeah, that's the way things are going here. It's just getting crazy. But let me see this. I've got this fella here. Let me see.
Become a familiar sight in provincial.
This is I don't know if I showed you this all week. I can't remember if I showed you or no. This was back in '93. Me and my wife and the kids were sitting in the house, and boom, the whole house shook. And it was a 2 or 3 ton bomb, yes, in Newtonards, next to about 4 mile away from the Priory. Yes, right outside the Presbyterian Church. They blew the whole town up. Now, looking back on it, nobody died, and a lot of the town get rebuilt. A lot of them are old buildings, need probably a good job to come down. But anyway, this is what happened to us. IRA blows up, and you're saying the IRA is going to get rid of the immigrants. Don't talk nonsense.
Become a familiar sight in provincial towns here. The aftermath of another large IRA bomb. 2 weeks ago, the RUC warned that the terrorists had a stockpile of explosives and were intending to use them. At 8:20 last night, Newtonards became the latest victim of those terrorists. 19 people were injured in the attack, which left dozens of shops and offices so badly damaged that they may have to be demolished. An Ulster Unionist councillor who owns a block of shops, which was one of those to bear the brunt of the blast, today vented his anger on the government for not preventing such attacks.
My real anger is against Sir Patrick Mayhew in the Northern Ireland office, who this year have wasted millions upon millions of pounds in Northern Ireland and done absolutely nothing. When you think that Bangor has had a couple of bombs, Marifelt, Belfast, Portadown, you go on and on.
Councillor Smith's sentiments were echoed by the MP for the area.
It's time this government recognised that where other European governments have managed to defeat their terrorists, this government has failed. I'm saying something which I detest having to say, but the IRA is actually winning in Northern Ireland because of the present policies of the government.
Among those injured last night were 5 policemen who were evacuating the immediate area when the device exploded. The most seriously injured was a police inspector who was hit in the neck and shoulder with shrapnel. He underwent emergency surgery and his condition is now described as comfortable. His superiors say the bombers didn't give them enough time to clear the area.
The warning was inadequate and actually misleading as far as we're concerned. Misleading, and that we were given different places and different streets. And we found the bomb ourselves, and it was during that time when we were clearing the area, getting the people out of the restaurant and the different places that the bomb actually went off.
Damage wasn't just confined to the street where the bomb went off. A Presbyterian church was among many other buildings affected.
Well, as you can see, the ceiling has come in down around us. The organist was actually sitting at the organ practicing when the ceiling came in down around him. The windows have also been broken in many places, as you can see.
This has become a familiar sight.
Well, there you go. That was 1993. Yeah, we were sitting in the house with our kids and the whole house shook. It was unbelievable. Then they put a bigger bomb, 3 or 4 ton bomb off down the other side where I live, and blew the forensic laboratory up. Quite a smart move, actually, you think about it. And that broke a window. That broke a window in our door. And that was a gigantic bomb. So that's what we've had to put with that. That's 1993. Newtonards is only a long road here. Very nasty. But it's all been rebuilt. And it looks wonderful now. So there you go. Pretty crazy stuff. Crazy stuff indeed. We didn't like it. But, you know, something has to be done. Something has to be done in Ireland because Ireland is getting completely taken over. I mean, 1 in 3 people in the Republic of Ireland is a foreigner. And it's becoming insidious. Now, people say to me when you look at things like Africans and playing the Boran and Africans doing Gaelic athletic football, isn't it wonderful integrating? Let me explain something to you folks. Integration is annihilation. Assimilation is annihilation. The Irish were very clever in the 1860s with the rise of the Fenian movement because they could see their people being engulfed by a bigger, more powerful culture, i.e. the English, and the Catholic Church didn't want its people to be engulfed into being English because then they would probably become Protestants as well. And they didn't want that, and I don't blame them. So the Irish Catholic Church did a thing called the Gaelic Revival. So they brought back all their old sports from years ago that nobody knew about. They brought back the language, and they kept their people separate, and that way they survived. If they'd have been assimilated into a British English culture, they'd have been gone. They'd been gone. Ireland would just be an appendage now of England. So they've done the right thing. And I'm saying now we need to take a lesson from the Catholics and the Fenian movement and become completely separate from these people. Because this amalgamation is annihilation. We can't do it. If assimilation is annihilation, we cannot do it. We must keep ourselves separate. Or if you don't, this happens. I mean, look at this nonsense. I don't know what that is, but I can tell you what it's not. They said this is a wonderful African woman's learned Irish dancing. That is not Irish dancing. That's African dancing, her interpretation of Irish dancing. She's no Irish, her dancing's no Irish, and she's no business here. She should go back to her own people. I'm quite sure they'll be very entertained by her jiggling about and her gyrations. Unbelievable. What do you make of that? You ever seen that? No wonder Kit Bear saying that. Must be the Black Irish. Very good, Ken, the Black Irish. Well, you know the Southern Irish Catholics call the Protestants in the North black bees. Which I can assure you it's nothing to do with us. But what a nonsense. You ever seen the like it? Twerking become jerking. I know, it's just mad. What was that? I know, let's have another shift. Let's have another quick shift. There's a much longer clip out there, but I can't bear watching. Aye, whatever. Listen, no harm to the wee lassie. She's obviously a good dancer, but she's African. She ain't Irish, and her dancing style's no Irish. It's got nothing to do with us. We don't want nothing to do with her. Thank you very much. But that's the lefties pushing this and saying, "Oh, look at that! Look how these people fit in." No, we don't want it. We don't want it. Thank you very much. We just did the Fla. It's the biggest festival of Irish music and culture in the world, and we just had it for the first time ever in Belfast for the last 7 days. There was over 1 million people there, and everybody got on very well. There was busloads of Protestants from Cumber going down to it, and people from all over the island of Ireland going to it, people from America and Australia and Canada and New Zealand and England and Scotland and everywhere else going to the Fla. And it was 7 days, and the whole city centre was shut for a week. And it was all music and festivals and with pipers and Scottish stuff. They even had the foresight to have flute bands, loyalist flute bands marching. Yes. And the festival finished the other night, there Sunday night, and the finishing act was the Shankill Defenders Protestant flute band. Yes, at the Irish Fla. The times, they are a-changing, as Mr. Dillon said years ago. And they are who would have thought it? I wouldn't have thought it. If you'd have said to me 5 years ago, I'd have said you were mad as a brush. So the people are uniting in Ireland. Nothing to do with the paramilitaries, the IRA and the UVF. The people are uniting. The Catholics and the Protestants are uniting, and the people will expel the invaders at some point in the future. But why that crazy story came out this week, I do not know. I wonder what it's all about. But it's also kicking off in Glasgow. Here's a very deprived area in Glasgow the other day, and this is happening every single night now, all over Glasgow. Glasgow's becoming the leading place now of resistance to the invaders. Have a look. That's a very rough area of Glasgow called Postle Park. Very rough area. Mixed area, Catholics and Protestants, because most people in Glasgow are Irish. And they're all out the streets, send them home. And that's happening all over Glasgow. And I mean all over Glasgow, every district. People are right next. So at the moment, Glasgow is sort of leading the way of demonstrations against the invaders. It's quite incredible to see, actually. Very incredible. But of course, our boys are doing okay. Getting a lot of pushback from the media. In fact, I must phone me Jamie in Manchester as well. He had the police in his house every day for 6 days. So I don't know. I've not spoken to him for a few days. So I wonder if he's still at liberty or he's been locked up. I don't know. Need to phone him. Need to phone him after the show. But, you know, we're getting there. So please help the boys. You know, help the boys. We know they don't know new badges we're getting for the uniforms. Here we are. Look. There we go. Community guards. You like that? And they've been doing a good job, Jamie and the boys. Look. How do I get to that now? What have I done? So the boys are doing a great job. And at the weekend, we had a very famous woman who does all this filming and video. And she was in Spain. I know that 60,000 people flooded in one day. She jumped in a plane and went over. She's an English woman. She spends a lot of time in Ulster, just like Jada. So she went away over to film it all. And we invited her down to the chapter house. And she came down. She had a lunch in the pub across the road there. She had a look at the chapel and that. If you go onto her Facebook, her name is... Sarah White. Sarah White. If you go on Facebook or Twitter, I should say X. If you go on Sarah White's her name, and you'll see her, and she's very complimentary. She said it was fantastic to meet such good, decent people. Here she is here. She's got a salute, right? So there we go. And she's Southern English like Jada. Speaks very similar to Jada. And she's a very feisty woman. But she's out and about doing the stuff. So there we are. Sarah White, that's it. Thank you very much, Ewan. Yep, that's all. So if you could go into your ex and just say thank you very much for coming visiting us. Ewan's put a link up there to her stuff, I think. So give her a wee bit of encouragement. Say keep up the good work and thanks for visiting the temples. But there she is. And of course, she's sussed out that most of the right wing in Britain are ratbags, Zionists, shills, grifters, and general con men and lunatics. So she's found that out. So she's came to us and she said it was a breath of fresh air to meet some decent, honest men. You don't have to do much these days to stand out, do you? It's shocking, isn't it? You don't have to do much to stand out from the crowd. Just be decent and honest and a man. How difficult is it? You know, but it's almost impossible to find people like that nowadays. It's unbelievable. So there you go. And she's a woman. She's got three kids or something. She lives down in South England, but she's spending a lot of time in Northern Ireland because she loves it and she's going to move here. And we're going to be trying to encourage more and more English people to move to Northern Ireland because what's happening is a lot of English people are packing up because they're terrified. I mean, for their kids' sake, they're living in these towns that are completely infested with Islamics and all the rest of it, and Africans. And English people are no communal. They don't even know their neighbours. So imagine the terror having to send your kids to a school that there'll be only 5% of them white. So they're saying, oh, we need to get out of here. But they're going to Germany, they're going to Poland, and they're going to Hungary. That's no good because your kids will grow up Polish or Hungarian. They won't be British anymore. But if they come here, they'll still be British. And Northern Ireland will be the springboard. This will be the beachhead for the reconquista of England in the future. There's no doubt about that. That's why God has built this place here. We've often wondered why. Well, I knew why. This will be the bridgehead. This will be the safe haven where people can breed and thrive and train and launch back into the reconquista of England. That's a sensible idea. So that we're going to be concentrating a lot on that. Mr. Griffin's putting a wee package together with myself, and we're going to really start promoting that. Get yourself to safety. I understand that people with young families don't want to live in Burnley or Blackburn or Preston or Birmingham. I can understand it. I can get it. But don't be going to Poland or Hungary. Stay within the UK. There you go. Amen. It's really important that we look after our people, and we will look after them in Northern Ireland. We certainly will. Who else? I was trying to show you something else, but I haven't a clue what I've done. I don't know what I've done. That's a map of density of where all these immigrants are. Look at the density. Look. It's frightening. It's frightening. But remember, you should move to Northern Ireland because only last month, this happened in Northern Ireland. Do you remember? People went door to door, out, get out. Now, obviously, it would be illegal for me to say I support it and it's wonderful. So I can't say that. But there we go. That's what happened. And guess what? Hundreds, if not thousands of them, have all left. Miraculously. There you go. So there we are. And there are some people beginning to get a wee bit edgy like that. Yes, there are people getting a wee bit edgy. So it's going to continue and going to get worse.
Become a
press the like buttons. I'm sorry. So things are progressing, and I don't know, Kip, you're there down in England. I know you're a Scottish-blooded man, but I think it's a good idea for English folk if they need to relocate, if they really feel they need to get out of where they are to come to Northern Ireland, not to go to Poland or Hungary. I think so anyway. Well. Well done. Thank you very much. Go back to England and give birth. Yeah, exactly. Well, if you be safe first of all. So if you're here, breed like a rabbit, and then your sons will be the soldiers who reconquista England. It's as simple as that. I think that's what we need to do. So thank you everybody who's supporting that. And this is all coming. This is all coming from these patriotic patrols, these community guards that you have financed. So thank you each and every one of you who have contributed to that. It's much appreciated. And of course, I've got these, I've been putting these out at the parades, these demographic leaflets saying you need to breed. You need to breed. And they've been having a good reception. So we're very busy. The Templars are extraordinarily busy right now. And we've got a new magazine coming out soon as well. So we're very busy. So keep it going. Yes, Ewan's put a link up there. There's still a lot of your members not booked into the Magdalen Chapel. Listen, get yourself booked in there. It's a limited space. You're a Templar, you're entitled to be there. The Magdalen Chapel. It's about a quarter of the price of commercial people. And your ashes will be in a place where all your own people will be. You know, get yourself booked in. The link is there. The link is there. We're going to Belfast September for a week with my wife. Love it over there. Oh, very good. Very good, Paul. Excellent. Well, the next we had a big parade there on Saturday. Me and Sammy were at it, walking the walls of an ancient citadel. It was very nice. In fact, I've got some footage I could have showed you. I'm useless, aren't I? Useless. I'll get up for next week. So, no, maybe get up. What day is it? Tuesday. I'll get up for Thursday. Okay. So we'll get that done. So anyway, I'm going to love yous and leave yous with a wonderful tune. Wonderful, rousing tune, and you should all love it. It's a hymn, actually. And the words are just spectacular. So I'm going to leave you with this. And I shall be back with you. Mr. Griffin will be back with you tomorrow. I'll be back with you Thursday, if the good Lord preserves me. And of course, on Sunday. I put one of Bob's sermons up on Sunday because I thought it was a very, very good sermon about repentance. I hope he's enjoyed it. So he's a good old Bob, isn't he? Bob's on holiday at the moment for a wee while. So he's been for a few weeks. So we're having to have stand-in preachers up at that church with an Englishman on Sunday. Very good, actually, young fella. Very good indeed. So that's us for now. God bless you all. Keep our folk in prayers. And until we meet again, remember, stick close to God. You won't go far wrong. Cheers, Paul.